Are you a bug hunter wanted to submit a report that every organization will respond on it? Or are you a pen testers wanted to submit a report to your client whatever bugs that you have identified and you do not know how to prepare a professional pen testing report? So guys, today we are going to discuss about how to create a VAPT report. Also we will discuss what will be the steps that you will cover into the POC part. So welcome you all. This is Tapan Kumar Jha in a 100-day series of free bug hunting class. This is day number 12 where we are going to discuss about how to create a professional VAPT report. So without wasting time, let's get started. So first thing that you have to do, you have to open your Word file. Here we will make use of a AI also because AI give us a lot of input regarding this. I will just move this camera over here. Okay, now there are certain things, certain parameters are there, certain fields are there that you need to mention into your VAPT report. Now your VAPT report, how it looks like, because by looking at the report, it doesn't matter what depth you have done in your pen testing, what levels that you have crossed in your pen testing part, but if your report is not professional, if it doesn't look good, then the client will not entertain you for that particular bugs. There are several challenges that you will face when you are going to present your report in front of the client. Maybe they will ask you to lower down your severity. Maybe they will ask you to provide you the solution. Sometime if the VAPT report is not properly, like if you have not created the properly VAPT report, it will create a confusion in the developer minds, and it gonna take it will increase the cycle of your retesting and retesting. Okay, so today we will see all those challenges. So first open the Word file, the common format that we give to each and every pen tester, so that they can find whatever bugs they have found. Okay, they can put that particular vulnerability into this segment, and then later on we can club this POC with our main pen testing report, and we can deliver it to the client. So first thing what you have to do, click on the insert. Now in the below you can just insert the table. Okay, the table first will be the title of the vulnerability, whatever will be the title, make it as a center one. Okay, so here you can mention the title of the vulnerability. The second one is the description. Now see, this is a generic one. It won't be like that. Your organization should also follow this is the same standard. They may add few more extra columns, but the company VAPT report standard look like something this. Okay, because this particular format we also follow in our organization. The first one is your description about the vulnerability. Please make sure that the vulnerability description should not be generic, but it should be an appropriate. Now what does it mean? The appropriate means it should tell the person who is going to read the report what is this vulnerability all about, what will be the basic idea of this vulnerability, and where it actually exists. Okay, so not too much detail, but crisp and clear form of the description of the vulnerability. Now after that you can split this particular row into two different columns, which we basically use for the there are two different part. One is affected resources. Now see, vulnerability does not only exist on the domain, but on which page this vulnerability is present. Maybe you have found one vulnerability on multiple pages, so you have to mention each and every link over here. Okay, that comes under affected resources, which resources are getting affected by this vulnerability. Understood? Then after that, the second one is the severity. Okay, the severity tells you that what will be the risk level of this vulnerability if it exists on our application. Now this is very much important, guys. Most of the time client struggle with you in for the severity, because they wanted to lower down the severity. Because see, if we are the organization, we have developed some application, we don't want that client will see that our application code is not properly secured. We have found, like we have while doing a testing, we have found multiple type of bugs. Okay, that is a critical and high level. That shows that your organization do not follow a secure coding practices. Getting a point? So that's why they do not want that critical bug should be there in their report. If critical bug you have found during a pen testing, they wanted to lower down. Sometime when, let's suppose if you are developing an application, now you are going for a testing, at that time the tester tells you that this feature is not correct, you have to remodify this particular feature. Now it's, you don't have that much time. So if the vulnerability is critical or high, the client cannot take an exception on it. If it is a medium, low or informational, they can take an exception, so that in their upcoming version they can fix this issue. Understood? So that's why there are different reasons why client wants to lower down the severity of it. Okay, so here we specify the severity. Then after that we will put a section of impact. Now this impact is really very much important. Based on this only the client will understand that they need to patch this vulnerability or not. Make sure that your impact should also describe that what will be the extended version of this vulnerability. It means if you will not patch this vulnerability, what can go wrong into your platform. Understood? Then after just impact, there should be a recommendation. Now during a recommendation, most of the bug hunters and VAPT testers, they do this mistake. They tries to use a chat GPT, or maybe they, by going on over the internet, finding any reliable resources, they just put any generic recommendation. So if you will put any generic recommendation, at that time developer also get confused what you want. Sometimes the pen testers tell around 10 different steps that to fix this issue. Now they are getting confused. All 10 solution we need to implement, or out of 10 one solution we need to implement. So while doing a pen test, while creating a report, make sure that your recommendations should be appropriate, so that the developer understand what is your expectation and fix that issue as soon as possible. Because until unless they will not fix it, you can't do the retesting, and until unless you will not do a retesting, your entire audit will not get closed. Understood? So recommendation should be maximum 3. One is a top priority. Okay, if this is an issue, with this you can solve it. If not, then you can try the second one. Third one is the worst case. If you will not be able to do anything, just try the third one. That's it. Not more than 3 recommendation in each vulnerability. Understood? Then after that, after the recommendation, we should also tell them what tools that you have used to identify this issue. Sometimes clients want to retest the issue into their own network as well. Let's suppose if you have submitted this vulnerability to the client, now the developer is looking at the report, they wanted to reproduce it so that they understand where is the mistake. Okay, might be possible sometimes they have patched the issue. Now instead of coming to you, if your report is properly ready, or you have mentioned each and everything in very step by step in detailed way, so they will check this vulnerability is patched or not by performing that vulnerability. So that's why we mentioned tool used, which tool we have used to identify this vulnerability. This is one section, and another section will, wait a second, yeah, this is one section, and in another section we have to mention the references. Now please, there are two different mistakes, or there are two different ways of implementing a references. One reference is basically telling about the vulnerability. What is this vulnerability? What is the impact of this vulnerability? Something like that. Let's suppose cross-site scripting exists on this particular link. Now your references links pointing what is access, what will be the impact of it. No, the references should always be the link which give them a solution how to fix this issue. Now if you are putting those links through which they can go and check how to fix this issue, it will help you a lot to fix this issue. Again the client will not come to you and ask that how to fix this issue, can you please recommend us, because multiple meetings we need to conduct if they are not able to understand your report. So either spend few hours to create your report, or either spend few days or months to sit with the client to make them understand what you want and how to fix this vulnerability. Understood? So you will be able to get this experience when you do the audit, and we are already doing the audit, so we already know that where is the client pain point. Now after this, after completing this, what you can do, you can have one more. Okay, merge. Now you can have few more rows over here which says POC, that is a proof of concept. Now make sure that in the above one, in the above section, you can add few more different section like CVEID, CWE number, something like this you can also add, or maybe it comes under which category of a OWASP top 10. So these things you can also add. It is totally depends on the organization and the audit pen tester what type of information they need to add. But this is a typical a general VAPT POC look like. This information should be there so that the client will understand your report properly. Now the POC will contain the steps. Now just like a kid you have to mention the step, because the client don't know sometime where this vulnerability exists, on which page number, where you have clicked, because sometime the pen testers do not prepare a proper report. They just paste the screenshot and then they will never highlight where the issue is and what is the issue. So in that situation the organization is unable to understand their report. Okay, so always put step by step. Open the URL, open the given URL, then paste the screenshot of it, click on login button. So whatever option which is there into the screen, just highlight that particular options like this. Understood? Click on the login button and enter your details. You have to tell each and every process. Now there is a slightly difference between VAPT and a bug hunting. In bug hunting also we used to create the same report, as well as we also record a video. Okay, like which display how you have exploited that particular vulnerability. Here you are writing each and every steps what you have done with the screenshot. After login, click on profile to view profile page, add JavaScript. What is your payload that you have entered? You have to mention it over here as well. Script alert. So that what they will do, they will use the same script to generate the issue. Add JavaScript in the name field and click on save button. Okay, step 5, click on home page to view the profile, and you can see that our script got executed. Executed, something like this. Sorry. Okay, so in this way you can just write it down each and every step. And if you wanted to mention result, so you can mention result like this: external JavaScript okay, so you can mention this as a result: external JavaScript successfully executed. Now here you have to mention the screenshot. Also make sure that do not crop the screenshot, because your timestamps plays a very important role, guys. Sometime the client also see what's your timestamp on your POC, because with the help of that we are able to understand if you are doing a retesting, have you when you have done the retesting, is it not a old POC. So that is also very much clear. Okay, and so this is how it looks like. So your title can be XSS vulnerability. Now we can also make use of a, wait a second, chat gpt or Gemini to exactly get the description as well as impact recommendation. Okay, also few references you can also add. I will just tell you. Manual. So let's suppose you have identified this access vulnerability manually, directly inserting a JavaScript on the browser. You are able to see this. Okay, so sorry, chat gpt. Okay, my net is not working. No issues. Let me connect my internet first. Okay, so by using this model like ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever you are using, or maybe you are using a co-pilot in your organization, so you can make use of it, and then after that you can just enter what things you require. One second. Okay, Gemini, sorry, my mistake. वाह, आज कौन सी भाषा में दे रहा है. Okay, so now what you can do, yeah, provide me a small description about XSS description, impact and recommendation about XSS for PHP. Language application, or you can also define that on which language you wanted to get a recommendation. Okay, so based on that, basically it will provide you that. Now let's see what information it is providing. Now here you can see a small description. Cross-site scripting is a website security vulnerability where attackers injects malicious JavaScript into a web page viewed by other user. In PHP application, usually happen when a user input displayed. Okay, so what you can do, you can just paste it over here in the description part. Okay, now affected resource can be demo.testfire.net/search equals to something like that. Severity could be, just because it's a reflected one, it's a low level vulnerability, LOW, just put it in the middle, and there will be a combination of colors, and that is present for that particular severity only. So blue represents low, dark red represent critical, light red represents high, and orange represents medium, and green represents informational. Somewhere in some of the organization they change the color as well, but this is a standard color. Okay, impact you can just copy paste from here. Okay, now see, yeah, this is the impact. You can just paste it over here. Then the recommendation should be there. Now here you can see there are multiple recommendation. So always specify this one, the first one, second one, 2. That is sufficient, I think so. We don't need to put so many recommendation, because It will make developer confused what you actually want from them. Okay, so they have mentioned this few code related solution also. So it is much easier for a developer to understand about this. Getting a point? So this looks very simple and clear to understand. Understood? And the tools manual. Okay, manually we have identified this. References, you can specify some references over here. Now first of all, you have to go and search for an article which tells you how to fix this issue. So was.org, I'm just typing any random website, was.org, but you can specify the exact URL. This is how your report looks like. Understood? So this is how you can create your own VAPT report. Now this is a sample of POC. The organization collect different POC from different pen tester. They have a common report starting and end where they have mentioned executive summary about the vulnerability, table of content, something like that. They will put it over there. In the last, they will give you the final recommendation of it. So, and it will be a middle part of it. So every pen tester will create this type of a POC for their vulnerability, and after that they will club all these together in one document and then they publish it. Understood? So this is how we can create a vulnerability assessment report for the client, and soon we are going to organize one internship program for all our students. Okay, so if you wanted to join the batch of a internship, so soon we are going to display the registration link here in the description part, or maybe in our upcoming videos we will announce it. So please make sure that you will join our videos, and I hope that you like the video, you like the content. Please feel free to like the hit the like button. Also, if you have any doubt into any section, request you please write down in the comment section. I will be happy to answer all your queries. Also do subscribe the channel, because these are there are different videos that we are going to upload. It will be a 100-day series. You are going to learn a lot from this series. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.